Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class we were discussing about the life cycle and death of stars. Until now we have discussed about the life cycle and death of the average stars. Okay, and in this class we will start our discussion with the story of the death of massive stars. So friends, first of all, which stars are known as massive stars? So friends, massive stars are the stars whose mass is more than 10 solar masses. Okay, so which stars are known as massive stars? So the stars whose mass is more than 10 solar mass. Now what is the meaning of solar mass? So in the last class also I have told you that solar mass means the mass of our sun. Okay, so what is the meaning of one solar mass? So one solar mass means the mass of our sun. So the stars whose mass is higher than, whose mass is more than 10 solar mass, these stars are known as the massive stars. Now friends, in some books you will also find this value as 8 solar mass. Means the stars having mass more than 8 solar mass are known as massive stars, and in some books you will also find this value as 10 solar mass. That the stars whose mass is more than 10 solar mass, these stars are known as massive stars. Okay, so in some books you will find this value and in some books you will find this value. So 10 solar mass is more acceptable. Okay, so now I will take here 10 solar mass. Means massive stars are those stars whose mass is more than 10 solar mass. So now let's see that how the life of massive stars goes on and how massive stars dies. So friends, let's suppose that this is a massive star. Okay, and what is this violet circle inside this massive star? So this violet circle inside this massive star is the core of this star. Now friends, in the yesterday's class I have told you that what is the main fuel of the stars. Means stars are basically made up of hydrogen. Okay, so what elements stars are basically made up of? So stars are basically made up of hydrogen, or in other words we can also say that hydrogen is the main fuel of stars. Now friends, I have already also told you in the yesterday's class that what happens in the core of the stars, that the fusion of hydrogen takes place. Means the nuclear fusion reaction of hydrogen takes place inside the core of star. So when the nuclear fusion of hydrogen takes place inside the core of star, so what happens, that the energy is emitted. Okay, so what happens, that the energy is emitted, and this energy is emitted in the form of heat and light. So what happens, that star emits heat as well as stars emit light. For example, if we see our sun, so although our sun is an average star, then also it also emits heat and light. So similarly the nuclear fusion reaction also takes place in the core of massive stars. Okay, so nuclear fusion reaction also takes place in the core of massive stars, so they also emit heat and light. Okay, means they also emit energy. Now friends, this star is a massive star. Okay, means the mass of this star is much higher than the mass of our sun. Okay, and I have told you that the gravitational force of attraction is directly proportional to the mass of any object. Okay, and basically gravitational force of attraction is that force which comes into play due to the mass of any object. Okay, so what happens, that gravitational force of attraction is directly proportional to the mass of any object. Now what does it mean? It means that when the mass of any object increases, so the gravitational force of that object also increases. So definitely as the mass of these massive stars is very high, so what happens, that the gravitational force of attraction in these massive stars is also very high. Okay, so this gravitational force is very high in these massive stars. So what happens friends, this gravitational force of attraction tries to compress the star. Okay, so this gravitational force of attraction tries to compress the star, it tries to contract the star. So we can say that due to more gravitational force of attraction, the compression in the massive stars is more than as compared to the compression in the average stars. Okay, so here the compression, here the rate of compression is very high as compared to the average size stars. Okay, now friends, if the compression is high, so what will happen, that definitely if compression is high, so now this core will burn the hydrogen fuel more quickly. Okay, so hydrogen fuel will be burnt more quickly in massive stars as compared to the average size stars. Why? Because due to more gravitational force of attraction, what happens that compression is more. Okay, and if compression is more, so you can say that pressure is more, and if pressure is more, then you can say that temperature is more, and if there is more temperature, then definitely you can say that the rate of hydrogen fusion reaction is more. Means these massive stars are burning their hydrogen at a very high speed. Okay, in other words, we can also say that if compression is more, means if there is more gravitational force of attraction, then definitely the particles, okay, means definitely there would be more kinetic energy in these hydrogen particles. There would be more kinetic energy in these hydrogen particles. So these particles will collide at a higher speed. Okay, there will be more collisions in these hydrogen particles. Okay, so what will happen, that these stars will burn their hydrogen at a very high speed. Okay, and if you are not getting what I am saying, then you just understand that when compression will increase, so what will happen, the pressure will be more, and when pressure will be more, so temperature will be more, and if there is more temperature, so what will happen, that the nuclear fusion reaction will take place at a higher speed. So what happens, friends, that these massive stars burns their hydrogen fuel at a very high speed, and if we compare the rate of burning of hydrogen fuel of massive stars with average stars, then we can say that massive stars burn their hydrogen so quickly as compared to average stars. Okay, and as they burn their hydrogen fuel quickly, so we can also say that the life of massive stars is smaller than the life of average stars. Okay, so now what will happen, a stage will come when this star has converted all of its hydrogen. Okay, a stage will come when all of the hydrogen in the core of the star will be converted into helium. Okay, so a stage will come when all the hydrogen present inside the core of the massive star will be burnt, or it will be converted into helium. Okay, so what will happen after that, so definitely you will say that, sir, when the star has burnt all of its hydrogen inside the core, so definitely the hydrogen fusion reaction, the nuclear fusion reaction taking place inside the core will be stopped. Now friends, there is one more important thing. Beside this energy emitted by nuclear fusion reaction, that nuclear fusion reaction was actually playing one more important thing. What was this thing? So due to nuclear fusion reaction, energy was being released. Okay, and the force due to this energy was actually trying to expand the star. Okay, so that thermal force which was released, that thermal force which was created due to the energy released by hydrogen fusion reaction, that thermal force actually tries to expand the star. Okay, so what is happening, so here also the two things are happening, just like it was happening for the average star. So the first thing is that the gravitational force of attraction is acting inwards. Gravitational force of attraction is acting inwards, and it is trying to compress the star, whereas the energy which is released due to nuclear fusion reaction, okay, the energy which is released due to nuclear fusion reaction, that energy is actually trying to expand the star. This energy is trying to expand the star. So there is a very simple principle of physics, that if you will heat any gas, then that gas will expand. Okay, so the energy is being released in the nuclear fusion reaction, and due to that energy, what will happen, that gases will expand. Or you can also say that this energy is trying to expand the star. This force is acting outwards. Okay, so now here, as you can see, one force is acting inward and other force is acting outward. So both of these forces will cancel out each other. Okay, and what will happen, that star will neither be compressed nor it will be expanded. So the size of the star will become stable. Okay, so what will happen, that the size of the star will become stable. So this is the role of nuclear fusion reaction in keeping the size of star stable. Okay, and these type of stars are known as main sequence stars. But friends, I have told you that a stage will come when actually star has burnt all of its hydrogen, means all the hydrogen inside the core is actually converted into helium. Now what will happen? So definitely when all the hydrogen inside the core is burnt, so what will happen, that the nuclear fusion reaction at the core will stop. Okay, so what will happen, that once the star has burnt all of its hydrogen fuel, then what will happen, that the nuclear fusion reaction of hydrogen, okay, will be stopped in the core. But friends, here is one more thing. Okay, definitely the hydrogen is exhausted in the core, but definitely there is some hydrogen which is left outside the core, which is left in the outer layers of the stars. So the nuclear fusion reaction is still taking place in the outer layers of the stars. So what will happen? So the first thing that will happen, that now there is no more nuclear fusion reaction in the core of the star. Okay, so there is no more nuclear fusion reaction taking place inside the core of the star. Okay, so means now there is no force to counter the effect of gravity. Okay, actually gravitational force tries to compress the star, gravitational force tries to contract the star. Okay, and now if there is no more nuclear fusion reaction taking place inside the core, so what will happen, that now there is no more force to cancel the effect of gravitation. So what will happen, friends, that under the influence of gravitational force, the core will start to contract at a very high speed. Okay, why? Because actually this is a massive star, so the gravitational force is also very high. So what will happen, that under the influence of gravitation, the core will start to contract. Okay, the core will start to contract under the effect of gravitational force of attraction. But I have told you that some hydrogen is left on the outer part of the star. So what will happen, friends, that the nuclear fusion reaction is still taking place in the outer shells of the star. So the heat, the energy, okay, the energy released due to this nuclear fusion reaction will act in outward direction. Okay, so it will exert a force in the outward direction. So what will happen, that the outer layers of the stars will be expanded. Okay, so what will happen, that the outer layer of the star will be expanded. So here also two things will go on simultaneously, just like it was happening for the average star. The first thing is that the core of the star will contract, and the second thing is that the outer shell of the star, okay, this outer shell of the star will expand. So star will become very big as compared to its original size. Okay, so star will become very big, star, because originally also this star was big. Okay, and now as star has expanded, so star will become very big. Okay, so we will call this type of star as red supergiant. Okay, so what this star will be called, this star will be called red supergiant. So friends, you can see this diagram. So if this is main sequence star, means the star in normal position. So let's suppose if this is a star and this is the core of a star, so this will be the size of a star in the red supergiant stage. Okay, so the core, okay, so the core will become very small. Why? Because core will be contracted, and the size of the star will become very big. Okay, why? Because there will be the expansion of the outer layer of the star. Now why this star will be called supergiant? So this star will be called supergiant because the size of star has become very big, and due to the very huge size of the star, this star will be called supergiant. And why this star will be called red supergiant? Okay, so why it will be called red? So definitely this star will become red. And why it will become red? So in the last class I have explained you that what happens, that at this stage the star has less energy as compared to the main sequence star, and red color represents the low energy color in the VIVGAOR. Okay, so red color represents actually low energy. So what happens, that this star becomes less energy star as compared to the main sequence star. That's why it start emitting red light. Okay, and that's why it is called as red supergiant. Now friends, just like average star, this core is now filled with helium. Okay, so this core is filled with helium. So a stage will come. Okay, so now what is happening, that the gravitational force is continuously compressing the core. Okay, and when gravitational force will compress the core, so what will happen, that the pressure will increase, and when pressure will increase, so temperature will increase, and a time will come when the temperature will become so high that it will become suitable for the fusion of helium atoms. Okay, and what will happen, that in the core, the fusion of helium atoms means the nuclear fusion of the helium nucleus will start. Okay, so the fusion of helium nucleus will start, and we can say that again nuclear fusion is started in the core. So when nuclear fusion will be started in the core, so core will start emitting energy. Okay, so definitely now the gravitational force will try to actually compress the star. Okay, gravitational force will try to compress the star, whereas the energy released by core will try to expand the star. So again both of these force will cancel out each other, and what will happen, that star will become stable again. Okay, so okay, now friends, again a stage will come when the star will exhaust all of its helium fuel. Okay, means the star will convert all of the helium into carbon. Okay, so what will happen, that when the entire helium fuel is burnt, when star has burnt all the helium fuel, when no more helium is left in the core, so definitely we can also say this like that the entire helium is actually converted into carbon. So now the core is filled with carbon, no more helium is left in the core. So what will happen, so definitely now we can say that the nuclear fusion will again stop in the core. Okay, so when nuclear fusion will stop in the core, so now what is happening, that gravitational force will actually try to contract the core, and now there is no more energy releasing by nuclear fusion reaction to cancel out the effect of gravity. Oh sorry, okay, so to cancel out the effect of gravity, so what will happen, that now there is gravitational force which will try to contract the core, and again now there is no more energy released by nuclear fusion to cancel out the effect of gravity. So what will happen, that again the core will start to again the gravitational force will compress the core, and core will start to contract. Okay, and the same concept will be repeated again. So definitely some helium is left in the outer shell of the star, means nuclear fusion reaction is still going in the going on in the outer shell of the star. So the heat released due to this nuclear fusion reaction will exert the outward force, so this will actually expand the outer layer of the star, so the star will become more big. Okay, so what will happen, again the core will be contracted and the outer layers will be expanded. Okay, so outer layers will expand and the core will contract again. Okay, now friends, in last class I taught you that the story of average stars will end here only. Why? Because average stars do not have enough power, average stars do not have enough energy, enough gravitational force to start the fusion of carbon atoms. Okay, so the average stars do not have enough gravitational force to start the fusion of carbon nucleus. But I have told you that this is a massive star. Okay, the mass of this star is very very high as compared to any average star. Okay, so I told you that a massive star means a star whose mass is actually more than a massive star is a star whose mass is actually more than 10 solar masses, means 10 times the mass of our sun. So this is the lower limit. The mass of a massive star can also be equivalent to 20 solar masses. It can even be 40 solar masses, 50 solar masses, or any number. Okay, so imagine how massive the stars can be, how big the stars can be. Our sun is a very small star as compared to the other stars. Okay, so this is a lower limit for the massive stars, means a star whose mass is at least 10 solar masses, that star will qualify to become the massive star. But actually the mass of the massive stars can be much higher than that. This can be 40 solar masses, 50 solar masses. Okay, so are you getting my point? So I just want to explain that the mass of these stars is very high, and if the mass of these stars is very high, so what happens, that the gravitational force of attraction, the gravitational force is also very very high in these stars. Okay, so now let's see what will happen next for these massive stars. So friends, I have told you that the helium fuel has exhausted in the core of the star, and the nuclear fusion reaction has also stopped in the core of the star, and the core of the star is actually filled with carbon. Okay, and what is happening, that gravitational force is contracting, is compressing the core, so the core is contracting. And what is happening, that the outer layer of the star is expanding, so the star is becoming more and more big. Now friends, when the gravitational force will compress the star, when it will compress the star more and more, definitely here the gravitational force is much higher than as compared to the gravitational force that was in the case of average stars, because the mass of these stars is very high, so gravitational force is also very high, so it will compress the star at a very high speed. So when there will be more compression, so definitely there will be more pressure, and if there will be more pressure, so definitely there would be more heat and temperature. So a stage will come when what will happen, a temperature will become suitable for the fusion of carbon nucleus. Okay, so what will happen, a stage will come when the temperature will become suitable for the fusion of carbon nucleus. And friends, the nuclear fusion reaction of carbon will start again in the core of these massive stars. So here I just want to explain that the story of these massive stars will not end with carbon core, okay, as it was in the case of average stars. The story of massive stars will go more forward. Okay, so their story will not end here because they are very powerful. So now the nuclear fusion reaction of the carbon elements will be started. Okay, and what will happen, that the carbon nucleus will fuse to give oxygen. Okay, so now this star will start making the higher elements. These carbon nucleus will start making what will happen, that the nuclear fusion reaction of carbon will start and the carbon elements will fuse into oxygen. Okay, and again friends, the core will start emitting energy, so this energy will counter the effect of gravitational force. Okay, so this energy will counter the effect of gravitational force which is trying to contract the star. So what will happen, that the effect of gravitational force and the effect of energy released by nuclear fusion reaction will actually cancel out. So what will happen, that again here the star will become stable. Okay, so you can see that the life of a massive star is much exciting as compared to the life of a average star, because the life of a average star will anyhow be ended with the carbon core, but the life of a massive star will not end even with the oxygen core. So now let's see what will happen further. Now friends, in this stage the star is stable and the core of this star is actually burning carbon. Okay, means it is converting carbon into oxygen by the carbon nuclear fusion reaction. Okay, means here the fuel in nuclear fusion reaction is carbon. Okay, but definitely as the limited of the hydrogen was limited, so similarly the supply of the helium was also limited, so similarly the supply of carbon is also limited. So a time will come when the star has exhausted all of its carbon fuel also, means now there is no more carbon left inside the core of a star. Okay, now there is no more carbon left inside the core of a star. The star has completely burnt its carbon. Okay, and the carbon is now actually converted into oxygen. So this core is now predominantly oxygen. Okay, so again the same story will be repeated. Okay, so what will happen, that now the gravitational force will try to compress the core. Okay, and now there is no more nuclear fusion reaction going on inside the core, so now there is no more energy to counter the effect of gravitational force. So what will happen, that the contraction, okay, the contraction of the core will start. Okay, what will happen, that the contraction of the core will start, and definitely as usual. Okay, so now I think that you are getting that how the entire story is going on. Okay, so each time the same cycle is repeating. Okay, each time the same cycle is repeating. So again definitely there is some carbon left inside the there is some carbon left in the outer shell of the star. Okay, and still the fusion of this carbon is going on in the outer shell of the star. Okay, so definitely the nuclear fusion reaction of this carbon will produce the energy. And what this energy will do? So this energy will play an important role in the expansion of the star. So this energy will expand the star. This energy will act outwards, and the outer layer of the star will expand. So again what will happen, friends, that the core will become more small. Okay, so again and again what is happening, that core is becoming smaller. Each time core is becoming smaller and the outer layer of the star is becoming very big. So actually what happens, that this star actually becomes very big. This star becomes huge. That's why this is known as red supergiant. Okay, so in the case of average star, it was red giant, but it is red supergiant. Why? Because it becomes very big, because the cycle is repeated again and again. It is a massive star. It has more gravitational force. It has the power to trigger the nuclear fusion reaction of higher elements. Okay, now again the story is going like usual, that the core of the star is contracting and the outer shell of the star is expanding. Now let's see what will happen further. So friends, as usual, the gravitational force is actually compressing the core of a star. Okay, and the gravitational force here is also very powerful. Okay, means compression is very high. Okay, so if compression is high, so pressure is high. If pressure is high, so temperature is also high. Okay, so when the gravitational force is compressing the star more and more, so what is happening, that the pressure is increasing. The particles are colliding with each other just like anything. The kinetic energy of the particles is very high. Okay, pressure is very high. So if pressure is very high, so temperature is very high, heat is very high. Okay, and what will happen, that again a time will come. Okay, so the story is again and again repeating. Again a time will come when what will happen, that the core will acquire the enough temperature to start the nuclear fusion reaction of oxygen. Okay, so what will happen, that the nuclear fusion reaction of oxygen will be started in the core. Okay, so now I think that you all must be getting that how the entire things are going on. So it is just like a cycle. Okay, so it is just like a cycle. So again what will happen, so now you can guess that what will happen, that again if the nuclear fusion reaction of oxygen is started in the core, so what will happen, that the core will start producing energy. Okay, so what will happen, that this energy will actually try to expand the star, and gravitational force is trying to compress the star. So the effect of gravitational force will be cancelled out by the effect of energy produced by nuclear fusion reaction. So again the star will become stable. Okay, so are you noticing the pattern? What is happening, each time the fuel, okay, each time start is exhausting the fuel is ended. So what happens, that star become unstable. Okay, so it is a cycle like unstable star, stable star, unstable star, stable star. So unstable star means when the core is contracting and the outer layers are expanding, and stable star means when the size of the star is stable, means size is neither increasing nor it is decreasing. So each time the fuel is ending inside the core of the star, so what will happen, that star will become stable. Okay, when star will become stable, I'm sorry, what I mean to say, that each time the fuel will end in the core of the star, so star will become unstable. Okay, so what will happen, that star will become unstable, and when star will become unstable, so what will happen, that core will contract and outer layers will expand, so star will become huge. And when core will contract, so what will happen, that the star will gain enough temperature due to compression to start the nuclear fusion reaction for the higher element. And when the nuclear fusion reaction of the higher element will be started, for example here the nuclear fusion of reaction of oxygen is started. So when the nuclear fusion of higher elements is started, so what will happen, that again the core will start emitting energy, and when again core will start emitting energy, so energy will cancel out the effect of gravity, so again star will become stable. So it is actually going like unstable star, first the star is stable, then unstable, then stable, then unstable, then stable, then unstable. Okay, so this is like a cycle. Now friends, Now friends, this cycle will continue again and again. Okay, so here what has happened, that initially star was only having hydrogen. Okay, so initially star was predominantly hydrogen, but this hydrogen is converted into helium. Then this helium was converted into carbon. Then this carbon was converted into oxygen. Okay, means star has actually synthesized helium out of hydrogen. Star has synthesized carbon. Star has synthesized oxygen. Okay, now friends, in the similar way, okay, so again and again the same cycle will be continued, so there is no point in explaining you the same cycle. Okay, so I hope that till now you all must be getting that what is happening, that again and again star is becoming stable, then unstable, then stable, then unstable. So when star will become unstable, when the fuel is ended in the core, and again when the nuclear fusion reaction starts in the core, so star again becomes stable. Stable star means when the size of the star becomes stable. Okay, so yes, so in this cycle what has happened, that star has produced helium, carbon, oxygen. Now in the similar way, this massive star will then produce neon. Okay, after neon, this massive star will produce silicon. So the core will be filled with silicon. Okay, but what will happen friends, when the core will be filled with silicon, so when the core will be filled with silicon, so what will happen, that definitely the nuclear fusion reaction will stop. Okay, but when nuclear fusion reaction will stop, so what will happen, that the again star will become unstable. So when star will become unstable, so what will happen, that the core will start to contract, and when compression will start, so pressure will increase, temperature will increase, and a time will come when the temperature will again become suitable for the nuclear fusion reaction of silicon to take place. Then what will happen, that the again core will start producing energy, and when core will start producing energy, so what will happen, the star will again become stable. Okay, so just like star has produced helium, star has produced carbon, star has produced oxygen, so similarly star will also produce neon, star will then produce silicon, and after silicon star will produce iron. Okay, so what will happen, that first of all star will produce helium, then carbon, then oxygen, then neon, then silicon, and then iron. Okay, friends, the story will go just like that. Okay, from hydrogen to iron, but this story becomes very difficult when the core is predominantly iron. Okay, so when the matter inside the star is converted into iron, then the story becomes very difficult. So now let's see what will happen when this core will become iron. So friends, again a time will come when the entire silicon fuel is exhausted in the core of the star, or we can also say that star has completely burnt the silicon fuel. Okay, and or you can also say this like that the entire silicon is converted into iron. Okay, so the silicon is converted into iron. Okay, so you can say like that the core is now filled with iron. Okay, so once the core is filled with iron, so what will happen, that again the same story will be continued. And what is that story? That story is that now the nuclear fusion reaction is stopped inside the core of the star. Okay, but now also there is some silicon left in the outer core, outside the core, means in the outer shell of the star. Okay, so what will happen, that the gravitational force of attraction will actually try to compress the core. Okay, so the core will start contracting, and the nuclear fusion reaction taking place outside the core, means in the outer shell of the star. Okay, so this energy will try to push the star outwards, means it will try to expand the star. Okay, so what will happen, that the core will contract and the outer layer of the star will expand. So now friends, till this time the size of star has become very big, because many cycles have been repeated. So the size of the star is very big, and the size of the core is very small, because the core is contracted again and again. Okay, so till now I was telling you that what happens when the when the gravitational force of attraction compresses the core, means when compression starts. Okay, so what happens, that pressure increases and temperature increases. Okay, and with increase in temperature, a time comes when temperature becomes suitable for the nuclear fusion reaction of the higher elements. But friends, I have told you that the story becomes very difficult, very different when the core is of iron. Why? Because iron is a very stable element. Okay, iron is a very stable element. The massive stars also do not have the enough power. The gravitational force of attraction of the massive stars also do not have the enough power to trigger, to start the nuclear fusion reaction of iron. Okay, so it is impossible. It is impossible for the massive stars also to start the nuclear fusion reaction of iron. And why? Because iron is a very stable element. Iron is a very stable element. So once the iron, once the core is filled with iron, okay, once the core is predominantly iron, so it becomes impossible for the star to start the nuclear fusion reaction of iron. And why? Because iron is very stable. So now what will happen? So now, as you can just imagine that now the nuclear fusion reaction, okay, now the nuclear fusion reaction will not start again in the core of the star. Okay, so now one thing is fixed, that the nuclear fusion reaction now will no more be available. Now nuclear fusion reaction will not start again in the core of the star. So now let's see what will happen further. Now friends, what is happening? That now no more fusion reaction is possible. So what is happening? That the outer layer, okay, so this layer of star is continuously expanding and the core is continuously contracting under the influence of gravitational force. Okay, so now no more nuclear fusion is possible. So what is happening? That the core is continuously compressing, the core is continuously contracting, core is becoming smaller and smaller with time. Okay, so with time core is becoming smaller and smaller. Okay, and on the other hand, the outer layer of the star is becoming bigger and bigger with time. So now star becomes very unstable. Okay, so at this stage star becomes very unstable and it becomes impossible for the star, to carry its own mass. Okay, so imagine the glory of the star when it was a main sequence star, but now the condition of the star has reached to such a stage when there is so much of instability, when star is not even able to carry its own mass. Okay, now what happens? That this core is contracting this core is contracting continuously and these outer layers are expanding continuously. So what happens? That star becomes very unstable and friends, this core collapses within itself. Okay, so what happens? That suddenly core collapses on itself. Okay, so what does it mean? So for example, let's suppose that this is the size of core. Okay, so let's suppose if this is the size of core, so suddenly what happens? That core becomes unimaginably small. Okay, core becomes very small, it collapses within itself. Okay, so this is the size of core. So what happens? That suddenly, okay, so because the gravitational force of attraction is very high. Okay, so friends, I just suggest you to imagine these all things. Okay, then only you will be able to remember. Okay, so you have to just imagine what I am saying, imagine my words. So the gravitational force of attraction is very high and now no more fusion is possible. Okay, and gravitational force is continuously contracting the core, so what happens? That suddenly core collapses within itself. Okay, and what happens? That a very big explosion takes place. And this explosion is known as what we call supernova. Okay, so what happens? That a very big explosion takes place and this explosion is known as supernova. And with supernova, what will happen? That this core will be left behind and this entire mass outside the star. Okay, so this mass of the star will move away from star. Okay, why? Because actually explosion has taken place. The star has exploded. Star has become so unstable that the star has exploded. Okay, so due to the explosion of the star, okay, means star has become so unstable that the star exploded, and due to the explosion of the star, what happens? That this mass around the star, actually this mass moves away from star. Okay, and what is left behind is the very small core. Okay, so this very small core is left behind and entire mass is now detached from the star, and this event is known as supernova. This explosion is known as supernova. Okay, so now we know that this mass is actually moved away from star. So what will be the fate of this core now? Okay, means now what will be the fate of star? So now let's see. Now friends, the fate, the fortune of the core which is left behind after the supernova, it will be decided by the mass of that core. Okay, so let's suppose if the mass, okay, if the mass of this core is more than 1.4 solar masses, okay, the mass of the core which is left behind after supernova is more than 1.4 solar masses, and if it is less than 3 solar masses, then what will happen? Okay, so now first of all I will tell you that if the mass of the core, okay, now I am not talking of entire star, the mass of the entire star was actually more than 10 solar masses. It can be 20, 30, 40, anything. Okay, I am just saying that the mass of the core which is left behind after supernova, the mass of that core, if that mass is between 1.4 solar masses to 3 solar masses, then what will happen to that core? Okay, so now friends, I have told you that under gravitational force of attraction, what happened, that the core has collapsed on itself. Okay, so now if the mass of the core, is between 1.4 solar mass to 3 solar mass, means it is more than 1.4 solar mass but it is less than 3 solar mass, so now this will become a neutron star. Okay, so what will happen, that the core will become a neutron star. Now what is the meaning of this neutron star? So actually a neutron star is a very densely and very tightly packed ball of neutrons. Okay, so what is a neutron star? So the neutron star means a very tightly and very densely closed, a very tightly and very densely packed ball of neutrons. Okay, so it is predominantly made up of neutrons. Okay, now what is the size of this neutron star? Okay, so what happened, that supernova took place, and if the mass of the star is between 1.4 to 3 solar masses, so a neutron star will be made. And what is a neutron star? Means it is made up of neutrons. Neutron star means a star which is made up of neutrons. It is a very densely and tightly packed ball of neutrons. So if we talk of the diameter of any neutron star, so the diameter of any neutron star can be between 20 to 30 kilometers. Okay, so imagine the star was very big, the core of the star was also very big, but now the contraction has happened so much, the gravitational force of attraction has contracted the core so much that now the size of the core is only between 20 to 30 kilometers. Okay, so this number is not hard and fast, okay, but usually it is 20 to 30 kilometers in diameter. Now friends, the neutron star has a very high density. Its density is very high. Okay, for example, in the last class I have told you that what happens, that a average star actually becomes white dwarf. Okay, so when the life of an average star ends, so it becomes white dwarf. So when you will take 1 teaspoon of material from a white dwarf star, so actually it will weigh around 15 tons. Okay, so if you will take 1 teaspoon of material from a white dwarf, so it will weigh around 15 tons. But friends, on the other hand, if you will take 1 teaspoon of material from a neutron star, then it will be around 10 million tons. Imagine the difference. Okay, imagine the difference between an average star and a massive star. That there is so much difference in the end of a massive star and an average star, that the 1 teaspoon of material from a white dwarf weighs around 15 tons, whereas 1 teaspoon of material from a neutron star weighs around 10 million tons. Imagine the difference between number 15 and 10 millions. 10 millions is a very big number and 15 is a very small number. Okay, so the weight of material, the mass of material from 1 teaspoon material of a neutron star weighs around 10 million tons. Okay, now friends, let's see further. Now friends, let's see that what will happen if the mass of the core which is left behind after supernova, the mass of the core, if it is more than 3 solar mass. Okay, so if the mass of the core which is left behind after supernova is more than 3 solar mass, okay, means it must be a highly massive, a very massive star. Okay, so if the core of the star if the core of the star which is left behind after supernova, if the mass of that core is more than 3 solar mass, then what will be the fate of this type of star? Okay, so now what will happen, that the black hole will be made. Okay, so what will happen, that now the core will totally be collapsed on itself. Okay, so now under gravitational force of attraction, so if, okay, so what happens, that if the mass of the core which is left behind after supernova is more than 3 solar masses, so what happens, that now this core is a very massive core. The mass of this core is very high. So if the mass of this core is very high, so definitely the gravitational force of attraction of this core is also very high. So and the gravitational force is so high that what happens, friends, that the core totally collapses on itself, and the size of the core becomes nearly equal to a point. Okay, so as this is a point, okay, so similarly the size of the core becomes nearly equal to a decimal, a point, and this is what we call as black hole. Okay, so when black hole is formed, so when the mass of the core which is left behind after supernova is more than 3 solar masses, so what happens, that the gravitational force is so high that the core totally collapses on itself, and it becomes so small that it actually becomes just like a point. It becomes just like a decimal. Okay, means it is unimaginably small. Okay, so imagine that this much amount of mass means mass more than 3 solar masses. It can even be 4 solar masses, 5 solar masses, or even more than that. Okay, so this is a lower limit. It can even be 10 solar masses. Okay, so just imagine that this much amount of mass, the mass which is more than 3 times, 4 times more as compared to our sun, this mass is actually contained in a small point. So this is known as black hole. Now friends, as we know that a very big amount of mass is just contained in a point. Okay, now what is the formula of density? So density is actually equal to mass upon volume. Okay, means if mass is more, then density is more, and if volume is less, then again density is more. So here what is happening, that here volume is almost near to 0. Volume tends to 0. Volume is not 0, it tends to 0. It is very small. Okay, and if we talk of mass, then mass is very high. So if mass is very high and volume is extremely small, so what happens, friends, that the density of this black hole actually becomes infinite. So what is the density of this black hole? It is infinite. And what about the gravitational force of attraction of this black hole? So friends, what will be the gravitational force of this black hole? So I have just told you that gravitational force of a body is directly proportional to the mass of that body, and actually a very big mass is contained in a volume which almost tends to 0. So definitely the gravitational force of this black hole is also infinite. Okay, so these black holes are actually having infinite gravity. Their gravitational force is very high, and friends, the gravitational force is so high that even the light, okay, light means the light has the maximum speed. What is the speed of light? The speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per seconds. Okay, so this is the speed of light, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per seconds. Okay, and till now, according to us, light is the object. Light is something which is having the maximum speed. Okay, light is not object. Okay, so what is light? Light is something which is having the maximum speed. The speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, so even with this high speed, okay, even with a speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per seconds, the gravity of this black hole is so high. The gravity of the black hole, the gravitational force of black hole is so high that even light cannot escape, even light cannot go out, okay, out of these black holes. Okay, and definitely, how do we see things? how do we see things? So definitely when the photon particles, when light is reflected from any object, then only we can see that object. Okay, but as light enters in any black hole, so what happens, that the gravity of the black hole is very high, gravitational force of black hole is very high. So this gravitational force does not allow the light to go back. This gravitational force of attraction does not allow the light to escape from black holes. Okay, and this is the reason why light cannot come out of black hole. And if light cannot come out of black hole, so it is impossible to see black holes. Okay, so this is all about black holes according to our exam perspective. Now friends, there is one thing which is important for prelims point of view. Okay, so recently the picture of a black hole named M87 was taken. Okay, so actually this can be asked in your prelims. So the picture of a black hole named M87 was taken. Now some students can ask, that's how, okay, that's sir, you told us that light cannot escape from black holes, then how the picture of black hole was taken? So actually the picture of black hole was not taken. Okay, the picture of the surroundings around that black hole was taken, or we can also say that the event horizon, the picture of the event horizon of that black hole was taken, because definitely the light can come back from the event horizon, the light can come back from the surroundings. Okay, so by taking the picture of the surroundings of black hole, by taking the picture of the event horizon, we can get a rough idea. Okay, but definitely it is not possible to take the picture of black hole. Okay, so the name of that black hole is M87. So friends, with this, the story of stars is now completed. Friends, I hope that you all must have enjoyed the lecture, and if you have enjoyed the lecture, then please like the video, comment, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon and select all, and share this channel to as many people as you know who are preparing for UPSC or any other state PSC, so that they can also get benefit out of this course. So friends, now we will meet in next class. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.